Alright guys, welcome back to the most amazing gaming channel in the world. Today we're not going to be going over any type of build. Today I want to start a new series basically, which in a lot of my videos I tell you guys, well then you just counter build for your last 2 or 3. What if you don't know the items? And that's what I'm here to start going over with you today. This is the PTS, so this is going to be 3.8. There's a bunch of updated items, so I actually wanted to make sure that I was going to be going through the most updated ones and not ones that are going to be like expired in a couple weeks. So, to get started today, we're going to be going over the consumables, the relics, and the starter items. So the consumables, this should be pretty self-explanatory. Health potion whenever you need health, mana for mana. This gives you a little bit, about half as much health and mana as the normal potions, but it puts it into one. So just use those knowingly, like solo laner, guardian, because I main support. I know most of the time I grab mana and multi-potion depending on who the support is, and what boots I'm building and everything like that. This ward, it basically just gives you good vision. So you can see it gives you for 45 units. This one is also 45 units. They last for 3 minutes or until it is killed. They don't see through walls or stealth, so if a Loki goes stealth and runs through, you won't see them. However, under a tower and under a phoenix, you will see a Loki. So hopefully that does help for that aspect. Let's see, the ward, it just gives you general vision. The sentry gives you the general vision and allows you to see all other wards. This includes sentries and it includes normal wards. This is very good for basically making sure that your enemy does not have vision on you. So, seems some of this may be like very super easy and self-explanatory for some. Others, you're going to be like, oh, hey, thanks for actually going through this. So, hopefully this isn't too boring for you guys. But I'll be going through every single item in the entire game, both offensive, defensive, utility, and then moving on to a magical person because they have different items as well. This is the 450 power potion. Usually, it's referred to as the power pot. Lasts for 5 minutes, increases your power by 20. It's not bad. There's also, if you are a mage, there's like the potion of like magical might or something like that, but it's the same exact thing. You have your elixir of defense, which is 3k, gives you physical and magical protections for 5 minutes or until you are killed. This is a very kind of luxury item after you have your entire build. Usually you're going to want this if you are the guardian. Also, depending on what type of warrior you're going to be, elixir of defense can also be very helpful. And elixir of power, this is going to be for your ADCs, this is going to be for your mages, some warriors, and all assassins. I guess if the game is going on so long, I have been able to purchase all 3 of them, which is super annoying when you go and you die right after getting them all, because that's 6,500 gold roughly. To move on to the relics here, blink. This is no longer combat blink. You guys probably already know this. You need to be out of combat for 5 seconds. This is going to be good for basically using your abilities. So examples of this would be a Sylvanas, would be a Jeb, Xing Qin potentially, and Ares is a good one as well. I've also seen and respot it on a circuit. The reason why this is really good is because it basically gets you in and out, so you can, instead of using your jump to engage with circuit, you can blink in, go ahead and do your little burst thing, and then if they start to get away, you can then jump and catch them. So blink is very good in aspects of either needing to get into combat is usually what it's used for, because you need to be out of combat for 5 seconds, so it's not going to be too incredibly amazing. For curse, this is basically just slows the movement speed of every enemy in the area, in a 55 unit area. It does this for 5 seconds. It also reduces their healing as well, so keep that in mind if you're getting ready to go into a fight and Isis throws down something, or her ult. It may be a good idea to use Curse, because everyone affected will have their healing reduced by 65. So I always use this, or see this being used as just to slow them to catch them, but it can also be used offensively because it does reduce the healing as well. Frenzy. This is going to be very good for most likely assassins, is what I've seen it used on the most, just because it does give you a 20% physical and magical power buff for 10 seconds. That's really good, especially when you get into a team fight and you go ahead and pick up Frenzy, cast it, and everyone goes in. 20% is incredibly high, especially for the mages. So it's very, very helpful. Plus, you also get 10 damage towards objectives, things like that. Just kind of helps you burst things down. Meditation is going to be more for your higher health people. Because if you are an assassin, say, and you get a meditation, it only receives 15% of your owner's health. 15% of 2,000 isn't that much. But if you have a tank with 3,500, 15% of 3,500 gets dispersed to everyone. So it's not too bad there, because it's 15% of the owner's health and the owner's maximum. So it's not too bad with that aspect. Just keep in mind, you don't want to build it on low HP gods, unless you're in something like Assault, then you would want to. Purification makes you pretty simple. You make your CC immune. You'll want this against people like a Neath, anyone with CC that has a good chain. You'll want to get that. Sanctuary, this is going to be what you want to use for something like a Neath ult. It's very, very helpful to negate the ult there. You also have Thanatos. You can negate his insta kill by getting Sanctuary. This would be very, very helpful in cases like that. Scout, a lot of people don't like this. I personally really love it, as long as you're going to be doing it in a big map. But basically, you get a Sentry Ward, free Sentry Ward. You don't have to purchase any Sentry Wards. Has a 140-second cooldown, or you get another one every single time you return back to the fountain. So, pretty helpful, especially in something like Conquest, where you can put down no shit about $3,000 worth of wards. Not too bad. Shell. This is good for someone like a Thor, a Hades, someone that it's better in the early game than it is the late game, but it gives everyone allies within a very small radius. I just want to show you guys, so when someone does pick it up, you have to be basically inside their body to get this. It's not as small as meditation, but still, I've had people way away, and they're like, "Why didn't you give me shell, dude? What the fuck?" And I'm like, because you actually have to be remotely close to me. I'd say, because then here is meditation. Okay, so I guess they're about the same. So just keep that in mind. Meditation, shell. You got to be pretty close for those. So moving on, shell or sprint. This is going to be good. It's a buff to your allies. It's very, very helpful. Just to keep in mind, if your enemy gets sprint, do not get cursed, because when you use sprint, it makes them immune to slows for their duration of 6 seconds. If you use curse, they can counter your curse with sprint, and they will always be able to do so, because sprint has a 10-second less cooldown than curse. Sunder, this is going to be good on the new god Susano. I think I'm really, really going to like this. It has a pretty low cooldown. There we go. And it does really good damage. The big thing is it reduces the target's protection by 25%. Nemesis is also something that this makes very, very helpful. So that's kind of only a couple of the gods. It's not super utility-wise, because a couple of the others you're going to need to use one of these and a curse or sprint. But relics are sometimes very counter-relicking. Teleport, this is going to be good if you want to do something like a backdoor. If you have a Loki on your team and they're solo laning, he's probably going to want teleport, because he can then teleport behind enemy lines, not only to any tower, but also to a ward. So this is actually very, very helpful. The only thing that I think you're interrupted, is by hard crowd control. And then Wrath is also a very underrated item. It does 1,000 damage to jungle bosses. This includes the Titan. That is ridiculous. To immediately take 1,000 off the Titan is amazing. Otherwise, if you were just clearing a normal jungle buff, it's going to be 480 damage. So yes, that's that. You have Fire Giant, you have Gold Fury, you have everything is very, very helpful with that. So then moving on to the last one we're going to cover today, we're going to be going over starter items. This is Bluestone Pendant. You guys kind of know how it works. Basically, it's going to be something that you, most of the time, will have some sort of a ranged attack. For example, depending on your playstyle with Loki, this may be a good thing. But otherwise, you may want to go Death's Toll so that you can restore your health and mana. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like a Vimana is a better example. You're going to want a bluestone with Vimana, or a Shock, or an Osiris. These are going to be your bluestone people. Boomba's Mask. This should only be picked up by the jungler. Death Toll. This is going to be something for like your ADC. They're going to be able to basically gives them the little bit of lifesteal early in the game. Gives you that little bit of good physical power and 90 health. Again, these are starter items. They're not supposed to be blatantly overpowered. Mark of the Vanguard. Some people like this. I honestly am not a big fan of it. The only thing it gives you is a decent amount of health for an early game as 150, but it only gives you 5 physical and magical protections, which isn't great, and it reduces all damage taken reduced by 5. 5. That's nothing. Minions hit for like 23 at an early age, so it's like, what are you really doing? Like, you know, you're mitigating 5 damage is nothing. I really do not like this, and I honestly can't really think of anyone in which this would be a good idea. Even Hercules would go Bluestone Pendant. Watcher's Gift is what I think the true support should go. You only lose out on 50 health, but the thing is you get 4 bonus gold and restores 10 mana for not killing jungle or minions. That is amazing. But the biggest thing, too, is it restores 10 health and 5 mana. If you have someone like an Apollo who can easily clear lane, you're going to get, on each little minion wave, 60 health and 30 mana. That's what should happen if you're playing smart. It's amazing. So this is what I would really recommend for supports. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys liked it. Sorry for the prolonged video, usually longer than longer, but I do want to give you guys a full update, and I'll break them down. The next one I think I was going to be ended up doing power is going to be the only one there. So hopefully, guys, if you guys did like it, if you guys do want me to continue this series as giving you guys an update of all the basically an item guide, let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video, comment, subscribe, and if you haven't already, go follow the Twitch and Twitter. And until the next time, guys, have yourself a fucking amazing life.